Croesus ton Solona Xenidze, part alpha and beta. Croesus ein Ludos Turnos. Croesus was a Lydian Turnos. We've talked many times about what a Turnos is. Essentially, a aristocrat who rises to sole power in an oligarchy. Can also be someone from an outside or from the normal sequence of a succession. Pais de Aluateo, child of Aluates. This Croesus was implied, the verb to be, the first of barbarians, hoi here, who katastrepsanta subdued Greeks. Not necessarily Greece, because Greece was, first of all, Hellada, and secondly, he took over Greek city-states in modern-day Turkey. Prode tes Croesu arches, before the rule of Croesus, Pontes Hellenes, all Greeks, esan, were free. Hostitus and Aesia, host plus the indicative like we have here is as or when. And as he subdued katastrepsata, those Greeks in Asia in turn, and mere is just an idiom. Nominatives arrive at Sardis. Alloy here is the nominative adjective modifying sophistai, the nominative plural noun that's the subject of affignuntai. Other wise men slash sophists slash professional philosophers arrive at Sardis. Te kai, both from Greece and especially Solon, an Athenian man. Hos here, relative pronoun, who. Poiesas here, masculine nominative singular participle, after subduing, who after making laws, went abroad, this is the aorist of apodemeo, for 10 years, this is that accusative of time, and he did this with the pretext of katatheorias, prophasin, sailing away. Ekplusas here, this is that masculine nominative singular aorist participle, modifying the nominative hos, which again introduces the relative clause, as by the way does poiesas. After sailing away, kata plus the accusative here is according to the pretext, on the pretext of sightseeing. This theorias here, by the way, is a genitive. Hina plus the optative here is used to show purpose. This is one of the two major subordinate uses of the optative. Hina plus the may is the negative, in order blah 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 not happen, in order for something not to happen. Or if you're feeling a little 19th century, go ahead and use lest. Especially in order that he not be forced from anankadzo, last principal part, so passive voice. Lusai here is the infinitive of luo, to undo. Tina, any of the laws, and these are the laws which he put in place. You don't need to worry about why that's a genitive relative pronoun. Autoigar, for. Nominative, they themselves, because auto here is modifying the nominative, modifying the implied subject of kate konta. Themselves is probably a good translation. For they themselves, or they bound themselves with strong oaths, dative of means, to use the laws, nomos here, dative object of kreis esthai, deca ete, for 10 years. More on what those laws are is this relative pronoun, relative clause, whose. Laws, by the way, are masculine and nominative and singular, so therefore whose is masculine, plural. Whose is masculine and plural. Which Solon, thetai, put in place dative svisi for them. This is an ionic form. You're using autois in the Attic dialect. Apodemesos, aorist participle here. After going away, and so after going away, going abroad to Egypt, para plus the name of a leader like Amasis, otherwise known as Ahmose, one of the later pharaohs of Egypt before Egypt was conquered by the Persian Empire. You're going to translate it as in the court of, to the court of. So again, after going abroad to Egypt to the court of Amasis, Ahmose, if you will, he arrived Athiketa, this is the aorist of Athikneomai, and especially to Sardis, para plus Croesus here, again a ruler's name, to the court of Croesus. Athikomenos, aorist participle, masculine nominative singular, referring to Solon. And after arriving, he was befriended, he was entertained, he was hosted. You can see the word xenos at the root here. He was entertained in the palace. Hupa plus the genitive after a passive voice verb is secret agent genitive of agent by Croesus. And afterwards, hemera trite e tetarte, this here is a dative of time, on the about third or fourth day. Kelusantos Croesus, here's a genitive noun, genitive participle in a sentence for no good reason. Genitive, absolutely. So on the third or fourth day, since Croesus commanded, after Croesus commanded either side, therapontes here, this actually is not a participle. This is the noun meaning house slaves. So house servants, house slaves. Periegon, compound verb peri plus ago, led Solon around, kata plus the accusative here, down through the tesarus, the treasuries. And they pointed out epedeknusan, again with these compound verbs, the augment is going between the prefix and the root of the verb, like for example here. They pointed out panta, everything being both great and prosperous. Anta here is a neuter accusative plural participle of the verb ami, to be, and it is modifying panta here.